Law enforcement personnel's mental health has long been disregarded. Statistics that present a bleak image of the current situation of people who have pledged to protect and serve entire communities continue to support this fact. Even though working as a police officer or any law enforcement entity can be rewarding, it can also be mentally exhausting. Every work carries the potential for witnessing something upsetting. Child abuse, suicide, domestic violence, officer-involved shootings, and other incidents can frequently occur while working. It eventually takes a toll. If you want a more significant influence, whether you work in law enforcement, the judicial system, or corrections, or you know someone who does, you must be aware of the difficulties that police officers encounter. Discover some of these difficulties and the significance of promoting more understanding. Hi, and welcome to Mind Stretcher. My name is Matt, and I am a correctional officer in the U.S. Army with a passion for helping others improve their mental health and well-being. On this channel, I cover a wide range of topics related to psychology and mental health, from the importance of self-care to the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. I offer practical tips and advice for improving your mental health in your everyday life. Join me as we learn more about the fascinating world of psychology and mental health. Today, we are going to discuss 5 arguments on why law enforcement's mental health must be a priority. So let's get right to it. 1. Post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), anxiety, and depression are more common in law enforcement personnel. PTSD is a mental health condition that can occur after someone experiences a traumatic event. It can be caused by military combat, natural disasters, terrorist incidents, or other traumatic events. Post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) is an anxiety disorder that some people get after seeing or living through a dangerous event. The person may have thoughts about the event over and over again, feel very upset when they're reminded of the event, be jumpy or easily startled, and have trouble sleeping and concentrating. These feelings may last for months or years after the event. Anxiety disorders are characterized by feelings of worry and fear for long periods of time, months to years. People with anxiety disorders often worry about different things, such as work deadlines, social interactions, and everyday situations like using public transportation or going to school. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness (NAMI) most recent statistics on law enforcement, police personnel has considerably greater rates of depression, burnout, PTSD, and anxiety than the general population. Additionally, almost 25% of police officers have at some point in their lives had suicidal thoughts. 2. Compared to deaths in the course of duty, suicide claims more police lives. The number of police officers who die by suicide is 4 times higher than the number who die in the line of duty. Police officers are required to work long hours in a high-stress environment. They are also expected to be immune to the emotional toll that their job takes on them. This creates a perfect storm for mental health issues and suicide rates among police officers. For many, this is the first time they have been exposed to such violence, and it can take a toll on their mental health. Officers may also struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) or other mental illnesses that make it difficult for them to cope with what they have seen and experienced. It is important that police departments provide resources and training for officers so they can learn how to manage these issues before they become too severe, which will help prevent suicides among their ranks. The number of police officers who die by suicide is 4 times higher than the number who die in the line of duty. Police officers are required to work long hours in a high-stress environment. They are also expected to be immune to the emotional toll that their job takes on them. This creates a perfect storm for mental health issues and suicide rates among police officers. For many, this is the first time they have been exposed to such violence, and it can take a toll on their mental health. Officers may also struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) or other mental illnesses that make it difficult for them to cope with what they have seen and experienced. It is important that police departments provide resources and training for officers so they can learn how to manage these issues before they become too severe, which will help prevent suicides among their ranks. Within the U.S., there are an average of 18 suicide deaths per day. The overall rate of suicide is 11 and 2.6 suicides per 100,000 people in the United States. Males account for 78% of all suicides, while females only make up 22% in 2008. Men over 65 account for 3/4 of all male suicides, and women over 65 account for 90% of female suicides. So be sure to check on your friend and family that work on the line of duty. I know for a fact that they would greatly appreciate it. 3. Poor mental health has a detrimental impact on productivity. Effective service in any capacity, whether within the criminal justice system or elsewhere, depends on completing necessary responsibilities. However, police officers' work duties are essential for maintaining public safety. Among the responsibilities are upholding municipal and state laws, putting emergency plans in place, working as a criminal investigator, testifying in court, and implementing various crime prevention strategies. The general public is at risk when a police officer's productivity declines, which is frequently brought on by mental fatigue and stress. If you feel like you're experiencing any of the above symptoms, consider a break from work. Requesting time off with pay is always best, but if that's not an option, it may be beneficial to take some other action. 4. The majority of law enforcement does not seek treatment for mental health problems. The stigma attached to mental illness is a significant barrier to receiving treatment for police officers. 4 major obstacles to receiving mental health services were found in a study of more than 400 members of the Dallas Police Department that was conducted in private. Police officers' inability to identify when they are having a mental health issue. Worries about confidentiality. The notion that mental health experts can't connect with people who work in law enforcement. The idea that those who seek mental health services are unsuited to work as law enforcement officials. As a result, less than 20% of police officers with mental health difficulties had gotten help in the previous year. 5. Despite the lack of treatment, mental health conditions are common among people who work in law enforcement. The Dallas Police Department study placed a lot of emphasis on the frequency of lifetime diagnoses of mental illnesses. Findings demonstrated that female cops had a significantly higher lifetime risk of receiving a mental illness diagnosis than male officers. Additionally, the probabilities were higher for officers who were single, divorced, separated, or widowed than for officers who had never been in the military. Additionally, among police with more than 15 years of service in law enforcement, diagnoses of mental illness were more common. Among officers in the upper half of their position pay, the study used the statistical measure called the 95% confidence interval to compare the group of respondents to the general population. A 95% confidence interval is calculated by multiplying together the size of the difference between 0 and 1, which is 0.05. Then subtracting that number from 1, giving us a range of scores between -0.95 and plus 0.05. Thanks for watching. We hope you found this video helpful in understanding more about psychology and mental health. Remember, it's always important to take care of your mental health and seek support if you need it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content on psychology and mental health. Take care and have a great day.